Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver a keynote address at the 5th edition of Viva Tech today, one of the largest digital and startup events in Europe. The event is held in Paris every year since 2016. Twitter loses its intermediary status in India for failing to comply with the new rules. Police can interrogate even the top officials of Twitter in cases of illegal and inflammatory posts. An FIR registered in Ghaziabad regarding this. Union Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad questions Twitter's reluctance in following Indian laws that protect rights of victims of abuse or prevent misuse of such platform. Cabinet announces relief for farmers, subsidy for DAP fertilizers increased by 700 rupees, no burden on farmers. Also announces deep sea mission to explore biodiversity in sea, identifying thermal energy zones. BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra accuses Congress party of spreading fake news and creating confusion about COVID vaccines made in India. Assures no cough serum is mixed in the vaccine and reasserts that the vaccine is completely safe for use. Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh addresses ASEAN Defence Ministers meeting plus via video conferencing, says India has strengthened its cooperative engagements in the Indo-Pacific based on converging visions and values for promotion of peace, stability and prosperity in the region. US President Joe Biden and Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin to meet in Geneva today. Biden calls the meeting critical, says will offer cooperation to worthy adversary Putin. Russian president says relations with the United States were at their lowest point in recent years. Good afternoon and welcome to this bulletin. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the keynote address at the 5th edition of Viva Tech today. Prime Minister has been invited as guest of honor to deliver the keynote address at Viva Tech 2021. Other prominent speakers in the event include Emmanuel Macron, President of France, Pedro Sanchez, Prime Minister of Spain, ministers and MPs from various European countries. The event will also witness participation of corporate leaders like Tim Cook, CEO Apple, Mark Zuckerberg, Chairman, CEO Facebook, and Brad Smith, President Microsoft, among others. Viva Tech is one of the largest digital events, startup events in Europe, held in Paris every year since 2016. The 5th edition of Viva Tech is scheduled to be held between 16th to 19th June 2021. Microblogging platform Twitter has lost legal indemnity in India because of its failure to comply with new IT rules. Twitter will now have to face penal actions just like other publishers. An FIR was filed in Uttar Pradesh against social media giant over tweets on an assault that the police say attempted to incite communal trouble. Twitter has not yet complied with all provisions of the rules that came into force on May 25th. Last week, government had given one last chance to Twitter to comply with the new IT rules as the microblogging platform had not made immediate appointments of key personnel mandated under the new guidelines that came into effect on May 26th. Union Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has questioned Twitter's reluctance in following Indian laws that protect the rights of victims of abuse or prevent misuse of such platform. He said Twitter has failed to comply with intermediary guidelines that came into effect from 26th of May. There are numerous queries arising as to whether Twitter is entitled to safe harbor provision. Further, Twitter was given multiple opportunities to comply with the same. However, it has deliberately chosen the path of non-compliance. IT Minister said that the culture of India varies like its large geography. Having said that, in certain scenarios with amplification of social media, even a small spark can cause a fire, especially with the menace of fake news. This was one of the objectives of bringing the intermediary guidelines. Speaking on Uttar Pradesh's incident, the minister said what happened in Uttar Pradesh was illustrative of Twitter's arbitrariness in fighting fake news. While Twitter has been over-enthusiastic about its fact-checking mechanism, its failure to act in multiple cases like Uttar Pradesh is perplexing and indicates its inconsistency in fighting misinformation. In a recent incident, Ghaziabad police registered an FIR against Twitter India over a video of an elderly man beaten up and assaulted in Loni area of Ghaziabad from Uttar Pradesh that has gone viral. The police registered an FIR against social media site Twitter, journalists Rana Ayub, Sabah Naqvi, Mohammad Zubair, online news platform The Wire and Congress leaders Salman Nizami, Shama Muhammad and Moscow Rasmani have also been named for allegedly sharing on Twitter a video of incident and giving it a communal color without verifying the details. Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave its approval to the proposal on Deep Ocean Mission with a view to explore deep ocean for resources and develop deep sea technologies for sustainable use of ocean resources.
Deep Ocean Mission. This will support blue economy. The main features of that are mineral study, 6,000 meters deep in sea. There will be deep sea ocean survey. There will be advanced marine station for ocean biology. And there will also be offshore ocean thermal energy part of mission. And more importantly, this is also our travel in the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
The Cabinet has also decided and approved the proposal of Department of Fertilizers for fixation of nutrient-based subsidy rates for phosphatic and potassic fertilizers for the year 2021-22.
मोदी जी ने महत्वपूर्ण फैसला लिया कि किसानों के पर बोझ नहीं आना चाहिए, किसानों को 1200 रुपीज में ही खाद मिलना चाहिए। जो पहले 500 रुपीज सब्सिडी देते थे वो सब्सिडी बढ़ा के प्राइस 2400 हो गई, 2400 रुपीज हो गई, तो 1200 रुपीज सब्सिडी देने का फैसला किया। 1200 रुपीज में मिलती थी बैग, उसकी प्राइस इंटरनेशनल प्राइस के मुताबिक 2400 रुपीज हो गई। 2400 रुपीज में से 500 रुपीज हम सब्सिडी देते थे तो 1900 रुपीज उन्होंने मार्केट प्राइस कंपनियों ने रखी, तो 1900 रुपीज में किसानों को लेना पड़ेगा। तो मोदी जी ने कहा कि जी नहीं, 1200 रुपीज में ही किसान को मिलना चाहिए, तो और 700 रुपीज सब्सिडी बढ़ा दिया।
On to some other news. India achieved a significant milestone in its ongoing COVID-19 vaccination drive. 26 crore 19 lakh 72,014 beneficiaries have been vaccinated so far. Those are the doses administered. Cumulatively, over 28 lakh vaccine doses were administered in the past 24 hours. In total, over 4.49 crore persons across 37 states and union territories have received their first dose, and total of 8.95 lakh have received their second dose since the start of phase 3 of vaccination drive. More than 27 crore vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories. Over 1.82 crore doses are still available with states and union territories to be administered. Dr. N.K. Arora, chairman of India's COVID-19 working group of the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization, has said that decision to increase the gap between Covishield doses was taken on scientific evidence in a transparent manner, and there were no dissent among the advisory members regarding the decision. They said that the gap between the two doses of vaccine had a major effect on its effectiveness. The gap per doses helps in developing immunity up to 60 to 80%.
Decisions are taken on scientific evidence. Adenovirus vectored vaccines behave differently in different contexts because the background circulation of the virus on which the COVID antigen is put in, they are different. And third is, India has made very robust mechanism to continuously look at what is the other ongoing scientific evidence. All decisions are science-based. and done in a transparent manner. Whenever there is a dissent from any member of the NTAGI or COVID working group, this is documented into the minutes, and then only one moves forward with these decisions.
Meanwhile, testing for COVID-19 continues in the country. As per Indian Council of Medical Research, a total of 38 crore 33 lakh 6,971 samples have been tested across the country so far. On Tuesday, as many as 19 lakh 30,987 samples were tested. The centre on Wednesday had said that Covaxin does not contain newborn calf serum, as the serum is not an ingredient of the final vaccine product. There have been some social media posts regarding composition of the Covaxin vaccine, where it has been suggested that Covaxin contains the newborn calf serum. Facts have been twisted and misrepresented in these posts. The ministry clarified that newborn calf serum is used only for preparation and growth of Vero cells. Different kinds of bovine and other animal serum are standard enrichment ingredient used globally for Vero cell growth. The cells are completely destroyed in the process of viral growth. Thereafter, this grown virus is also killed. It's inactivated in scientific terms and purified. Then this killed virus is used to make the final vaccine, and in the final vaccine formulation, no calf serum is used. Hence, the final vaccine, Covaxin in this case, does not contain newborn calf serum at all, and the calf serum is not an ingredient of the final vaccine product. And the BJP today rejected reports claiming that serum from newborn calves was used for Covaxin. Addressing a press conference, BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra said Covaxin is completely safe and it does not contain calf serum.
जो साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी ने और जो हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री ने अभी क्लैरिफिकेशन दिया है इस विषय को लेकर, वो क्लैरिफिकेशन पब्लिक डोमेन में मौजूद है और स्पष्ट रूप से ये क्लैरिफिकेशन और साइंटिफिक डोमेन आज हिंदुस्तान का कहती है कि कोवैक्सीन में कोई बछड़े का सीरम या गाय का खून नहीं है। कोई भी कोवैक्सीन में बछड़े या गाय का सीरम नहीं है, कोई भी खून नहीं मिला हुआ है, नंबर 1। और नंबर 2, यह वैक्सीन पूर्णतः सेफ है। इसमें किसी प्रकार का कोई अपभ्रंश, जिस प्रकार का एक कम्युनल एंगल देते हुए इसे अपभ्रंशित करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, ऐसा कोई अपभ्रंश नहीं।
And Sambit Patra also hit out at Congress party for misleading people on the issue.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने एक महापाप किया है। मैं इसे महापाप कहूंगा क्योंकि जिस प्रकार का भ्रम कोवैक्सीन को लेकर, जो भारत में निर्मित वैक्सीन है, कोविड का वैक्सीन है, उसको लेकर जिस प्रकार का भ्रम आज कांग्रेस पार्टी ने सोशल मीडिया और प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके उनके प्रवक्ता ने फैलाया है, ये महापाप है।
State governments have begun easing lockdown norms following a dip in coronavirus infection in the country. Despite restrictions in 21 districts of Maharashtra, including Thane and Pune, will be relaxed on the basis of weekly corona positivity rate and availability of beds. Existing restrictions will remain in place to avoid congestion in Mumbai. Mumbai will continue to remain in the level 3 category of Maharashtra government's unlock plan to ease restrictions. The world-famous Taj Mahal reopened for tourists today after 3 months. Taj Mahal was shut due to COVID-induced lockdown. Only 650 tourists will be allowed at a time. Entry tickets are being sold, but online only. However, no such caps are in place for other monuments like the Agra Fort or Fatehpur Sikri. Officials said that teams will be deputed to monitor the crowds at all times in the monuments, and no one will be allowed to enter without masks. Meanwhile, Archaeological Survey of India has now decided to reopen monuments under its supervision as COVID cases are receding across the country. However, final decision has been left to the respective state governments and district magistrates under whose jurisdiction such monuments are located. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today addressed the ASEAN Defence Ministers Meeting Plus virtually. The ASEAN meeting is a significant platform involving 10 ASEAN member countries and 8 dialogue partners: Australia, China, India, Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, Russia and the United States. The meeting is being hosted by Brunei Ministry of Defence. Brunei is the chair of the ASEAN grouping this year and will host all the meetings. In his address, Rajnath Singh reiterated India's support and utilization of ASEAN-led mechanism for implementation of a shared vision for the Indo-Pacific.
India calls for a free, open and inclusive order in the Indo-Pacific based upon respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations, peaceful resolution of disputes through dialogue and adherence to international rules and laws. India has strengthened its cooperative engagements in the Indo-Pacific based on converging visions and values for promotion of peace, stability and prosperity in the region.
And Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said immediate challenge facing us collectively is COVID-19, while stressing on the need for vaccination to fight the virus.
The immediate challenge facing us collectively, COVID-19, the virus is mutating fast and testing our response as we find new variants that are more ineffective and potent. India is just emerging from a second wave that pushed our medical response to the limit. But the disruptive effect of the pandemic is still unfolding. The test is therefore to make sure that the world economy moves on the path of recovery and to ensure that the recovery leaves no one behind. I am convinced that this is only possible if entire humanity is vaccinated.
In Gujarat, 10 persons, including a child, were killed after their car collided with a truck coming from the opposite direction near Indranaj village in Anand district early today. Police has said the accident took place on a state highway connecting Tarapur in Anand district to Vadaman in Ahmedabad district. The car was going towards Vadaman while the truck was coming from the opposite side. And Prime Minister Modi has expressed grief on the loss of lives in the road accident in Anand district in Gujarat. He extended condolences to those who lost their near and dear ones. Prime Minister also announced ex gratia of ₹2 lakh each from the PM-NR fund to the next of those deceased. Some weather update in Delhi. Monsoon may arrive by a delay of 7 to 10 days as per Met Department. Western disturbances have affected monsoon to reach late in northwestern parts of the country. IMD has also forecasted cloudy weather with light to moderate rainfall and winds 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. Last year, monsoon had arrived in Delhi on June 25th, had covered the entire country by June 29th. Mumbai continues to witness heavy spell of rainfall. Heavy rains in Mumbai causes traffic snarls in different parts of the city. New Western Express Highway, the Met Department has issued warning of high tide. The weathermen have also forecasted strong winds and rainfall for Mumbai and its adjoining areas. While in Bihar, where monsoon has already reached, IMD has issued warning of heavy rainfall and lightning till June 19th. Meanwhile, rainfall continues in northwestern parts of Bihar, including western Champaran, Siwan, Saran, western Champaran and Gopalganj. And some international news. For the first time since he took office, US President Joe Biden will meet Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Geneva today. Amid deteriorating relations between the world powers, the meeting will take place in the final hours of Biden's first trip abroad as president, during which he attended the G7 summit in Cornwall, England. The White House has said that it expects the Biden-Putin meeting to be candid and straightforward, and that Biden will bring up ransomware attacks originating in Russia, the Kremlin's aggression towards Ukraine, and the imprisonment of dissidents and other issues. The two leaders are also expected to cover strategic nuclear stability and soaring relations between Russia and the West. And returning to our top story on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's keynote address to be delivered shortly at the 5th edition of VivaTech today, my colleague Arun Sharma is joining us with more updates. Arun, first take us through the significance of this program, VivaTech Startup Event. A lot of focus on new innovations and technology.
Absolutely, and in this new decade, startup is the key word to solve all our problems of what innovations can be done. A startup has to play a leading role in that. We've often seen this point as well, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi ensures that how can startup culture in our country can be given a major push. And today on a global platform like VivaTech, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be the keynote speaker, and is going to make a keynote address in this VivaTech summit, whereby a French president, a Spanish Prime Minister, various ministers and MPs from various European countries are going to participate. Various big conglomerates and big tech companies like Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, the top leadership of all these companies are also participating in this event. And of course, there are various panelists, so there are going to be a lot of discussions, showcasing of technology, showcasing of startup innovative ideas. All this is going to take place as far as VivaTech Summit is concerned. Now, we know this fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very much vocal about the fact that how can startup culture in our country can be given a major push. And in this new decade, the role and responsibility of startup is going to be very much significant. So in that context, Prime Minister Narendra Modi can also share his vision as far as startup culture is concerned. Because in this post-COVID world, or during the COVID pandemic time, we know this fact that a lot of innovative ideas are the need of the hour. And we have seen that how during the COVID pandemic time also, various students, youngsters, IITians, they have come forward with their innovative ideas, as to how can solutions can be given to the society. We have seen that how Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2020 started a challenge called Atmanirbhar Bharat App Innovation Challenge. We were various institutions, various individuals, they came forward, the youngsters came forward for innovation or innovative solutions as far as startup is concerned. So yes, how to cultivate the idea, how to cultivate startup in the youngsters, that's what the idea of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is. And India is one of the biggest you can say that ecosystems of the startups in the world. We are leading in top 3 as of now as far as the startup culture, startup ecosystem is concerned. More than 10,000 startups we have seen being developed as far as startups are concerned. I mean, more than 2 dozens of unicorns, that we have seen even during the COVID pandemic time. A lot of unicorn startup are coming from country like India. So this gives a sense that how investors, the global investors as of now, are betting high to invest in the startups of our country because, the innovative ideas, because of the youngsters, the young crowd, the young demography that India is offering, and the kind of innovative solutions that India is offering as of now. So there are a lot of foreign investors, angel investors that are more than eager to invest in India. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very much likely to highlight the growth story as far as startup in our country is concerned. Till 2014, not much was talked about as far as startup is concerned. But yes, in 2015, we have seen that how Startup India movement was launched by Prime Minister Modi. And after 2015, we have seen the kind of, initiative that were launched by Prime Minister Modi as far as startup is concerned. That has played an important role in encouraging the students, the youngsters, as far as startup is concerned. So yes, today Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when addresses the VivaTech, this global summit about the startups, is likely to highlight about India's growth story as far as startup is concerned, and how youngsters of our country have played an important role as far as providing innovative solutions and ideas, even during the COVID pandemic time, the kind of unicorns that India has given as of now, even during the COVID pandemic time. All this is very much likely, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlights. And of course, how can investors be attracted to the startup ecosystem of our country? That is also very much likely on the cards that Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlights when he addresses this VivaTech Startup Summit. Shubhendu?
Right, Arun. Also, a global digital and startup event like VivaTech also provides an exciting platform for collaboration, because we see the who's who of the corporate and digital world are also going to be present. We have the Apple CEO, we have Facebook CEO participating in it. Microsoft head is also going to be part of it. So a lot of budding startup, Indian startups who are looking for bigger opportunities and collaboration. This would be an event to look out for.
Yes, so the big giants, the big tech giants will be looking for innovative ideas and solutions from the young talent, and of course the young innovative idea givers of various countries. A lot of participants, institutions are going to have debates. They're going to showcase their product and ideas. There are going to be discussions as far as startup culture is concerned. And what is the industry requirement as far as innovative ideas are concerned? On all that aspect, deliberations will be held. Yes, so when the top leadership of Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, and all the big tech companies are joining this event, it gives also a message that how big companies are more than interested in innovative ideas from the youngsters of our country. And of course, the idea is also that how India as a startup destination can showcase itself on the global platform, because the backbone for the startup is, of course, financing. How can angel investors come forward and invest in India? How can the big investors who are looking for investment in innovative ideas, how can they come forward and invest in startup culture of our country, the startup ecosystem of our country? So in that context, it is very much likely that Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlights the India's growth story as far as startup is concerned. And of course, how can financing be made easier for India's startup or youngsters or the startups of our country? So in that context, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address is going to be very much significant. Number one, from the aspect as to how can India's growth story in startup that can be showcased on a global platform. Number two, how can financing related issues that can be sorted out for a startup ecosystem of our country, and not only our country, for various other countries, as to how can angel investors do invest in the startup culture or the budding startup. Third important part is, of course, the incubators, because a lot of startups as of now look for incubator and incubation aspect also. So how can incubation be provided to startup? How can hand-holding be done to the startup of our country? That is also an idea. And how can global collaborations can be done? Because when big companies, they come forward, when the countries do come forward on one platform, there is a likelihood of more and more collaborations, sharing of the best practices, which startup is successful in one country, and how can, best practices can be shared on the same lines in other countries. All these are going to be discussed as far as VivaTech 2021 is concerned. It is really going to be an interesting event as far as VivaTech is concerned, because not only big corporate giants, big tech giants like Apple, Facebook and Microsoft are participating. There are other mid-size and small-size startups. They have unique ideas, unique solutions to the problems that we are facing as of now. The youngsters, the IITians, they all are going to participate as far as this VivaTech 2021 is concerned. The innovators, not only from India, from other countries as well, they are also going to participate.
Right, and we now take you live to Prime Minister's keynote address at VivaTech 2021.
Excellency, my good friend President Macron, Maurice Levy, Chairman of the Publicis Group, participants from around the world, Namaste. Congratulations to the organizers for successfully organizing VivaTech in this difficult time. This platform reflects the technological vision of France. India and France have been working closely on a wide range of subjects. Among these, technology and digital are emerging areas of cooperation. It is the need of the hour that such cooperation continue to grow further. It will not only help our nations, but also the world at large. Many youngsters saw the French Open with great enthusiasm. One of India's tech companies, Infosys, provided tech support for the tournament. Likewise, the French company Atos is involved in project for making the fastest supercomputer in India. Whether it is France, Capgemini, or India TCS and Wipro, our IT talent is serving companies and citizens all over the world. Friends, I believe where convention fails, innovation can help. This has been seen during the COVID-19 global pandemic, which is the biggest disruption of our age. All nations have suffered loss and felt anxiety about the future. COVID-19 put many of our conventional methods to test. However, it was innovation that came to the rescue. By innovation, I refer to innovation before the pandemic, innovation during the pandemic. When I speak about innovation before the pandemic, I refer to the pre-existing advances which help us during the pandemic. Digital technology help us cope, connect, comfort, console. Through digital media, we could work, talk with our loved ones, and help others. India's universal and unique biometric digital identity system, Aadhaar, help us to provide timely financial support to the poor. We could supply free food to 800 million people and deliver cooking fuel subsidies to many households. We in India were able to operationalize 2 public digital educational programs, Swayam and Diksha, in peak time to help students. The second part, innovation, for the pandemic refers to how humanity rose to the occasion and made the fight against it more effective. In this, the role of our startup sector has been paramount. Let me give you India's example. When the pandemic hit our shores, we had inadequate testing capacities and shortage of masks, PPE, ventilators, and other such equipment. Our private sector played a key role in addressing this shortage. Our doctors adopted telemedicine in a big way so that some COVID and other non-COVID issues could be addressed virtually. 2 vaccines are being made in India and more are in the development or trial stage. On the government side, our indigenous IT platform, Arogya Setu, enabled effective contact tracing. Our CoWIN digital platform has already helped ensure vaccines to millions. Had we not been innovating, then our fight against COVID-19 would have been much weaker. We must not abandon this innovative zeal so that we are even better prepared when the next challenge strikes. Friends, India's strides in the world of tech and startup are well known. Our nation is home to one of the world's largest startup ecosystems. Several unicorns have come up in the recent years. India offers what innovators and investors need. I invite the world to invest in India based on the 5 pillars of talent, market, capital, ecosystem, and culture of openness. Indian tech talent pool is famous across the world. Indian youth have given tax solution to some of the world's most pressing problems. Today, India has 1.18 billion mobile phones and 75 million internet users. This is more than the population of several nations. Data consumption in India is among the highest and cheapest in the world. Indians are the largest users of social media. There is a diverse and extensive market that awaits you. Friends, this digital expansion is being powered by creating state-of-the-art public digital infrastructure. 523,000 kilometers of fiber optic network already links our 156,000 village councils. Many more are being connected in the times to come. Public Wi-Fi network across the country are coming up. Likewise, India is working actively to nurture a culture of innovation. There are state-of-the-art innovation labs in 7,500 schools under the Atal Innovation Mission. Our students are taking part in numerous hackathons, including with students overseas. This gives them the much needed exposure to global talent and best practices. Friends, over the past years, we have witnessed a lot of disruption in different sectors. Much of it is still there. Yet, disruption does not have the mean despair. Instead, we must keep the focus on the twin foundation of repair and prepare. This time last year, the world was still seeking a vaccine. Today, we have quite a few. Similarly, we have to continue repairing health infrastructure and our economies. We in India implemented huge reforms across sectors, be it mining, space, banking, atomic energy, and more. This goes on to show that India as a nation is adaptable and agile. Even in the middle of the pandemic, and when I say prepare, I mean insulating our planet against the next pandemic, ensuring we focus on sustainable lifestyle that stop ecological degradation, strengthening cooperation in furthering research as well as innovation. Friends, the challenges our planet faces can only be overcome with a collective spirit and a human-centric approach. For this, I call upon the startup community to take the lead. The startup space is dominated by youngsters. These are people free from the baggage of the past. They are best placed to power global transformation. Our startups must explore areas such as healthcare, eco-friendly technology including waste recycling, agriculture, new age tools of learning. Friends, as an open society and economy, as a nation committed to the international system, partnership matters to India. France and Europe are among our key partners. In my conversations with President Macron, in my summit with EU leaders in Porto in May, digital partnership from startups to quantum computing emerged as a key priority. History has shown that leadership in new technology drives economic strength, jobs, and prosperity. But our partnership must also serve a larger purpose in service of humanity. This pandemic is not only a test of our resilience, but also of our imagination. It is a chance to build a more inclusive, caring and sustainable future for all. Like President Macron, I have faith in the power of science and the possibilities of innovation to help us achieve that future. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You were watching Prime Minister Narendra Modi's keynote address at the Viva Tech 2021. This is a digital startup global event where Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated in a virtual manner. In his address, Prime Minister spoke about the manner in which technology innovation has determined the manner in which governance takes place, from the use of Aadhaar to financial inclusion of the masses to solutions during the time of the pandemic. Prime Minister said that innovation and technology has been game changer, and the government and administration in India has tried to make the best use of it. He also underlined certain opportunities and possibilities that the new generation of startups can build upon. My colleague Arun Sharma is connected with us and takes us through more updates on Prime Minister's speech in just a bit. Prime Minister in his address also spoke about the manner in which India's technology-led administration and governance also helped in made in India vaccines, the 2 vaccines that have been developed in India and many more in the line. He also spoke about the manner in which Arogya Setu came up as a flagship contact tracing technology during the time of the pandemic. So the manner in which the innovators in the country were able to capitalize on the crisis and create an opportunity out of that. He also connected the idea of innovation with protecting the planet, that climate change would also require innovative solutions from startups and others. And now we'll try and see to connect with my colleague Arun Sharma to get us more on Prime Minister's address. Arun, Prime Minister really in brief presenting India's innovation and technology journey, the manner in which we've been able to capitalize our strengths to find solutions to key problems, including the pandemic. And then Prime Minister talks about collaboration within the country and across the world.
Absolutely, Shubhendu. So his prime focus was on the collaboration part as to how collaborations can be done as far as giving a major push to the startup ecosystem, not only in India, but also all across the globe. How can best practices can be shared as far as innovative ideas are concerned? His complete focus was on talent. I mean, why India is a favorite destination, India as far as startup is concerned, why startup ecosystem or startup culture primarily is one of the top destinations, why investors all across the world are preferring to invest in the Indian startups. We have seen more than 24 unicorns in our country as far as startup ecosystem is concerned. A lot of startups are being created on a daily basis. It is because, India has talent, India has big market, India is a capital intensive sector. I mean, that means more and more capital, that can be pumped in from the global markets and various foreign investors, angel investors, so that primarily in this economic market, in the economic startup market, investment can be attracted. last but two important aspect is also the ecosystem that India is providing as of now, and the openness. The openness is the keyword. It's a transparent mechanism. It's a democracy. It's a free and fair democracy. And of course, the startup ecosystem, government is trying to give a major push to the startups right from the school age. The Atal Innovation Lab. Now, this is something the game changer in our startup ecosystem. The Atal Innovation Labs all across the country in various districts, tier 2 town, tier 3 town. These Atal Innovation Labs are giving a major push to the startup ecosystem in our country, because students right from the school age can have a habit of innovative ideas, of developing innovative ideas, how to convert ideas to solutions. That is what the focus is all upon. But yes, India has played an important role as far as innovation is concerned, right from creating 2 made in India vaccines. One is Covishield, second is Covaxin. We know this fact that these 2 vaccines are made in India vaccine, and how India has given solution even during the COVID pandemic time to various other COVID challenges that we have faced. Shubhendu, we know this fact that this is not the first of the COVID virus or the pandemic. In future, that this planet might also face another pandemics as well. So how can we as a planet can collaborate with each other to counter the future pandemics? How can solutions be made? How can innovative ideas can be translated into practical solutions? That is what the complete idea is all about, and the sharing of best practices and collaboration. The key word was the collaboration as far as Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address was concerned. How can collaborations be done so that primarily we can build up on startup culture, startup ecosystem, not only in India, but all across the globe,
Right.
so that best practices can be shared and we can find solutions, innovative solutions primarily to the problems that we have faced or we are likely to face in future or in this new decade. Shubhendu?
Right. Arun, also Prime Minister in his address presents India as a exciting market also for digital experiments and digital startup products. Given that there are over 1 billion mobile phone users, 75 million people who are active on internet, the wide-spreading network of fiber optics connecting our villages together, all of it would make India a very exciting destination for any startup working in a digital sphere outside of India who wants to come and invest here.
Absolutely, and a kind of internet market, the internet subscriber market is more than the cumulative populations of various countries. I mean, more than 75 crore internet users, more than 100 crores of mobile subscribers or mobile users we have in India. Any startup ecosystem or any startup provider or any innovator for that matter needs a big market so that he can showcase his idea, he can give his practical ideas or solutions in that big market. The startups as of now struggle for only 2 things. One is the capital, as to how can capital be given, how can angel investors, the foreign investors can come and invest in their entity, in their ideas or in the solutions. Second is the big market. And India is providing both these 2 things. Number one, today India is one of the favorite destinations of all the angel investors, of the foreign investors who wants to invest in the startup culture of our country. And that's the reason why startup ecosystem of our country is one of the prominent startup ecosystems all across the globe. And today, the foreign countries, the big companies primarily, be it Google, Facebook, Microsoft, they're looking forward to the Indian startups, the innovative ideas that the Indian startups are providing. It is because, India is offering good and economic innovative ideas. So that's the key word, the economic innovative ideas that India is providing as of now. Even during the COVID pandemic time, we have seen that how youngsters of our country have come forward and they have come out with various economic innovative ideas. And that's the reason why more and more angel investors are ready to invest in these economic ideas. So yes, more and more, and of course, last but not the least, the big market. Right, last year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi from the ramparts of the Red Fort, on 15th of August, clearly mentioned this point that all the villages of our country will be connected with the high-speed optical fiber network. This means internet, a high-speed internet will be reaching all the villages primarily of our country. All the gram panchayats of our country, I mean, close to 2.5 lakh gram panchayats of our country will be connected with the internet optical fiber. But all the villages of our country will be connected with the optical internet fiber. This means high-speed internet is reaching the village at this point in time. And this is the big market which the foreign investors, the angel investors want to tap on. And in that context only, they are eager, curious, and more than eager to invest in India. And that's the reason why the tech solution providers, the innovators, the youngsters, they're coming out with the economic solutions. So that is attracting the foreign investment in our country as well. So yes, in that context, talent, market, openness, ecosystem. So these are some of the keywords that India is offering, and that's the reason Prime Minister Narendra Modi today again highlighted India's growth story as far as startup journey is concerned on the global platform as well.
Right, Arun, also Prime Minister pushes forward the idea of innovation. He connects it with the challenge of climate change as well. And we can immediately think of solutions like cars, vehicles, technologies running on eco-friendly fuels, and making them affordable, making them accessible would be a challenge. And he connects them with the idea of a human-centric approach, technology innovation not just for its sake, but for the well-being of the people and the planet.
Absolutely. So if technology or any innovative idea is not people-friendly, if it's not user-friendly, it won't be accepted, all across the world. And Indians primarily are known for, delivering or innovative ideas that are people-friendly in nature, user-friendly in nature. And that's the reason, it is more acceptable globally as of now. But yes, interestingly, we know this fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has talked about the environmental aspect as far as innovation is required on the environmental aspect. And in various virtual summits that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has held with various head of states of various countries, be it the European countries and be it the other countries, the focus was on innovation part as well. How to control the climate change, how to ensure that environment is not compromised. So in that aspect, various global collaborations are required. How can best practices for that matter from French side or from France side can be brought into India? How can the innovative ideas, the economic innovative ideas rather than that, that can be showcased on the global platform so that, these economic ideas as far as energy front is concerned, environment front is concerned, that can be made more accepted globally. Now, as of now, we know this fact that whenever there is a transition from one point to another, that means as of now, India is transitioning from, petrol or diesel cars to electric motor vehicle segment. A government on one side is giving subsidy under the FAME 2 guidelines. So on the other side, the subsidy is being given on the purchase of electric vehicles. So on the other side, government is also incentivizing big corporate houses and the corporate sector so that they can make more eco-friendly and of course more economic passenger vehicles, which is green in nature and of course which is environment friendly as well. So yes, innovation is the key, but the youngsters can only fulfill that dream of India of becoming Atmanirbhar by making the innovative ideas into solutions as of now. And in that context, we know this fact that last year in 2020, Prime Minister Narendra Modi started a challenge in India that's known as Atmanirbhar Bharat App Innovation Challenge. There were a lot of, Indian websites, the individuals, the innovators, they came forward, they came out with their unique ideas and innovations that were world-class in nature. For that matter, Coup app for that matter, which is becoming, very much popular on international market, in the international market as well. There are various platforms, various websites, various startup and innovative ideas that are becoming more and more favorable on the international platform. So yes, in that context, Indian startup ecosystem is gaining momentum on a global platform as well.
Right. Arun, also it was interesting the manner in which Prime Minister also spoke about how India today is an equal partner as far as global innovation is concerned. It was interesting how he mentioned for every French supercomputer in India, there is an Indian company like Infosys taking care of the technology part at French Open. So in that manner, even though as a developing country, India is an equal partner in a lot of innovative ventures across the world.
Absolutely. So we are not only innovating, we are also equal partners on a global platform as well, as far as innovation is concerned. And as I mentioned earlier, that in his various virtual summits that Prime Minister Narendra Modi held during the COVID pandemic time with his counterparts of various other countries, the key focus was on innovation and of course collaboration as well, as to how can collaborations can be done and how can best practices can be shared between various other countries on an innovation aspect. India is becoming the backbone for the IT hub or IT infrastructure. In that context, India has also tweaked its laws, in order to make these IT companies or in order to give boost to the IT companies so that they can become a major hub for the global supplies to the world as well. So as of now, we know this fact that work from home culture that is being given push, and of course the law, the government primarily has has come out with the guidelines that work from home or work from anywhere primarily, that is also being now accepted. So now you can be in any part of the world, you can work from anywhere. So right from work from home to work from anywhere. So government is ensuring that how can more flexibility can be given to the Indian IT companies, the innovators of our country. That's number one. Number two, in last 6 to 7 years, we have seen that how government has given
Right,
tax
Arun.
incentives, tax holidays to the startup ecosystem of our country. So in that context, yes, it's very significant that Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighting India's growth story on startup in this global platform of Viva Tech 2021.
Right there, Arun, thanks very much for joining us with those inputs. Prime Minister Narendra Modi there, participating at Viva Tech 2021, a platform for digital and startup innovations, a global platform. In his address, Prime Minister touching upon a host of issues and underlining the manner in which India is taking forward its innovation and startup technology journey. With that, we conclude this bulletin. Namaskar.